Hi, I'm Nicholas Barnes, and I'm a wood artist, and I have a unique style that I call wood cloisonné. It is comprised of wood inlays that I have wrapped with metal, and it is inspired by traditional making techniques that have been found throughout the world and throughout history, comprising of metal and enamel and these small components that come together to create a large composition. I select the materials I use from a variety of sources. I use woods that are local to me where I live in the mountains of Southwest Virginia. I use woods from around the world. And then I have a real joy in finding recycled and upcycling materials. And so in my work, you may even find things that I have found, like clothespins, bits of deer antler, walnut shells, colored pencils. And what I look for is just colors, textures, and shapes that I think are interesting and unique. And those materials become my palette as I work and inlay this form. My grandfather and my grandmother actually developed a lot of the techniques I use and came up with this style of inlay using these unique materials. And so I grew up going to art shows, working in the shop with them, and that is where I learned my technique and my style. That's where I learned to turn wood. All of our work and the work I make now, I start by taking a large piece of wood, creating a wood turning, and using that turning almost like a canvas to inlay all these components. And so that's actually how I got into this, and I'm about 4 years in on my own, traveling around the country, participating in art shows. My grandfather actually has been to many of the art shows I participate in currently, and so I have people who come and have collected his artwork and in a sense have made me able to make the work now. And they're always interested in the differences and what I've done to evolve the work. Some of those things are unique forms and shapes, unique materials, and also the storytelling. So within my work, you will find typically a lot of stories revolving around nature, the world I experience. I have a piece called Pollinator Garden I really love that features these hummingbirds and flowers, and it's this little vignette of this story. You also might find some more whimsical elements, like I have a piece I entitled Rodney, and it was inspired by the pig that my family had, who was just a real nuisance and would run around. And so I cut these little components out of wood and inlaid them into the piece, and I used them as set pieces to tell these stories and create these narratives. And that's an evolution that I have taken upon myself and infused into the work that is a development from what my grandfather came up with. And we're always changing. I'm always trying new things. I'd love if y'all come down to the show to see the pieces in person and even get to hold and touch them and experience them and hear some of the stories that I have within them from me in each piece.